Donald Trump, during his appearance on Fox and Friends this morning, he really does have an issue with Fox. I guess they haven't been deferential enough because they tee him up with a question that's supposed to get him to attack Barack Obama, but it didn't actually end up that way.
One of the things he said last night was he's going around spreading COVID like he's a carrier because he cares more about having these big crowds than he does keeping people safe. Do you want to respond to the former president?
Well, fortunately, he's drawing flies. He's not getting anybody to go listen to him too much. Actually, Fox puts him on more than anybody else, which is sort of shocking to me because Fox has changed a lot. And somebody said, what's the biggest difference between this and 4 years ago? And I say Fox. It's much different. You still have great people. But you're three of them.
But you know, Mr. President, can I just say one thing? What they try to do with Fox
in terms of
but
politics.
We just want to show both. Unlike the other networks, they were trying to show both sides. So, hey, here's President Trump live, here's Joe Biden live. Because we feel it's a responsibility to sell.
We report, they decide.
Yeah, so I don't think it's an endorsement of anybody. But go ahead, when President Obama speaks, does he get under your skin? They say that he's the reason.
They wouldn't put Sleepy Joe Biden on every time he opened his mouth. They had other networks for that, frankly. And it was run, it's a much different operation. I'm just telling you, it's much different. And, and you have great people when you have Sean and you have Laura and you have, yourselves and you have some incredible people. Yeah. I'm just saying, Tucker's been great. I think you really have incredible people, but it's much different. I could name some of your side players and you'll interview. You had a period of time. I think you're still doing it, but you had Democrats on more than you had Republicans. And look, it's different. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling people it's one of.
Not complain. No, you're complaining. I've seen you complain. It happens all the time, you whiny little baby. You're mean to me. And I mean, the only part of your network run lineup that actually is nice to me is you guys for the first 5 hours of the day. And then there's Tucker and Laura and Sean, like a solid block of 5 hours at night. The rest of it's kind of mean because they put Sleepy Joe on all the time, every time he opens his mouth. Even though most of the time I say that he never does appearances and never gives speeches. But now apparently it's happening too much. Come on, be nice to me. Be nice to me.
Yeah.
Sad display. That's election day. That is him rolling into, it's supposed to be his triumphant re-election. And he's whining to Fox and Friends that they're too mean to him.
So, I've made this point many times and I'm gonna make it again because it's very relevant to the story. It's embarrassing to be a Trump supporter. And not because, the typical stuff that you hear Democrats say, oh, they're stupid, they're this. No. It's embarrassing to be a Trump supporter, especially because of the fact that all he spends his time doing as the most powerful person on the planet is cry. He cries nonstop. Twitter, interviews, campaign events, doesn't matter. He's always crying, always complaining, always talking about how he's at a disadvantage, how life is so unfair. We're talking about a man who inherited $413 million from his daddy.
Yep.
And was basically given every opportunity on a silver platter. And he thinks that life is unfair, okay? While ordinary Americans, average Americans are trying to get by during a pandemic that he has mishandled. People are losing their small businesses. I mean, it's been a complete and utter disaster, but Trump thinks he's the one who's been wronged. He's the one who should be treated better because life is so unfair. And then it's also particularly embarrassing when his supporters recognize how unpopular he is and go out of their way to intimidate voters, to scare people from turning in their mail-in ballots. They've done all sorts of crazy things in places like California with these fake drop-off boxes. I mean, it's so sad when your candidate sucks and the majority of Americans don't want him, and so you have to try to steal the election.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, and whining to them, and their defenses of each other with Kilmeade, and Ainsley Earhart. Yeah, no, dude, he said all three of you. That's very nice of you. It's sort of weird. Was there a conversation between those two? Is that what caused the other reaction? I don't know. And then Tussi's like, We report, you decide. Like he throws out a catchphrase like that's a solution to their problem. He's staying on brand, I'll give him that. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.